just swept him down there a couple of times. There it is. Wonderful innings, a fantastic innings. Only the third Indian to score a double century against Pakistan. Pindi, of course, he went on to get 300 as well. Gaikwad and now Dravid. And the other doubles that he's got, I recall the one in Adelaide. That was a match-winning performance, but not a series-winning performance. This just might be the latter.
Good evening. It is about to be 11 p.m. in Pakistan, and it is almost feels like Christmas Eve if you're a Pakistan cricket fan, because tomorrow, folks, Test cricket is finally coming home. We will get to see Pakistani bowlers steaming with a red cherry in hand, and the likes of Babar Azam, Azhar Ali, Asad Shafiq, Mohammad Rizwan, and maybe even Fawad Alam come out to bat in the beautiful Rawalpindi Stadium. This is Musad Afzal live with you for Change of Pace, and with me, I've got the usual AZ Khwaja. Khwaja, how are you feeling tonight? Thank you for joining us.
यार आप क्रिसमस ईव कह रहे हो तो मैं तो कहता हूँ वो चांद्रा जैसे नहीं होती ईद से पहले जी टेस्ट क्रिकेट comes home, very exciting occasion and very looking forward to hopefully a competitive but a winning series for Pakistan against the mighty Sri Lankans after what they did to us a few months ago.
That is a good point, but before we get into the opposition tonight, a very special clip that we started off tonight's episode with. I don't know if you recognize this. I know that you're a very well-seasoned Pakistan cricket fan, but just to remind you, that clip was from the last time Pakistan played at the Rawalpindi Stadium in a test match, and that was the great, arguably the greatest Indian test cricket batsman ever, Rahul Dravid, getting to his 200. He went on to make 242 in that innings, and Pakistan lost by an innings. Do you recall that game? Do you recall that test match?
Yeah, most definitely, because that was part of the Jeet Lo Dil series back in 2004, and we had been brutalized by Sehwag in the first test at Multan. He made his world record score of 309 or something. We made a comeback in the second test at Lahore, and the third one it was all to play for. We got rolled over on a greenish pitch, and then Dravid and Lakshman, I believe, they had a mammoth partnership. Or Dravid को हमने फिलहाल उस series में control कर लिया था, but then the floodgates opened and then we had no chance, and India took the series.
Yeah, some forgetful memories, but again, it is always nice to remember the kind of cricket that the likes of Pindi and the likes of Pakistan used to produce when cricket used to be home. Michael Atherton wrote for Sky Sports yesterday about how pivotal this two-match series is for the longevity of Test cricket at an international level, and how important it is for it to go well and for it to go smooth and for people to actually show up and have a good time. We'll start off by listening into a clip that's been sent off by a correspondent, but also a member of our team, Ahmed Hassan, who's
from our bureau office in
Islamabad, and he's
bureau chief.
He's made the dangerous trek to Pindi tonight to get us this report. Listen in to what he has to say about what Pindi's like tonight.
Very good evening to Masad, AZ, and to all of our listeners. We are less than 12 hours away from Pakistan versus Sri Lanka at the Rawalpindi International Stadium, and leading up to this test, we've had a continuous spell of cold, gloomy, overcast weather, and more is expected for the coming 5 days, with rain on days 2 and 3. The wicket itself looks quite dry with a tinge of green on the outside. I don't think it's going to aid the fast bowlers, but with the playing conditions being so dry, there is a chance for reverse swing to be a factor. And going into this test, Pakistan are expected to play 3 seamers and just the sole spinner in Yasir Shah, with Haris Sohail looking to retain his spot despite the dismal Australian series. And this means that Pakistan's current favourite cricketer Fawad Alam will not make it to the playing 11. Overall, we're expecting a sold-out day 1 as cricket finally returns home.
Big news coming in from Pindi. We saw some pictures that he'd sent across of the pitch as well. Very little grass on it, and very little grass on the ground itself, because it is winter in the Punjab province of Pakistan, and not a lot grows around those fields at this time of the year.
काफी ठंड लग रही थी. It looked quite frigid from the photos and all the media that PCB has been sharing. So those conditions will definitely factor into what Pakistan do if they win the toss. or if Sri Lanka wins the toss.
What do you remember of that Rawalpindi pitch? What do you remember of that stadium? How does it behave? How does the ball behave? You know, I started watching cricket in 2005, so I haven't really had the privilege of watching a lot of Test cricket at home for Pakistan. It's not the same for you, but tell me what you remember of that.
यार जब northern areas में पाकिस्तान के in this season, in this climate, the pitches are always supporting the seamers. There's something off the wicket in the air. So I think और Azhar Ali भी मैं सुना था press conference में he took a look at the strip और कहता था it looks very supportive for both batting and bowling. And I was watching a BBC Urdu report on the Pindi Test match और बता रहे थे कि Clive Lloyd, that the great Clive Lloyd, the great West Indies captain, he actually said that after Brisbane that the Rawalpindi pitch was the one he most enjoyed batting on. So that looks like it bodes well for a very competitive and a very compelling Test match.
Win the toss. What are you going to do tomorrow?
Yaar, if you win the toss, I'm always in favor of batting first because we are not very comfortable chasers in the fourth innings. So just, set the tone, bat first. Azhar Ali, especially as captain in his first home series, in his first home test. So can you imagine, yaar, banda 2010 से test cricket खेल रहा है, पहली दफ़ा एक home test match खेल रहा है. So I think he should just stamp his authority and, take on the Sri Lankans.
You bring this up and we've talked about how big of an occasion this is. I know that T20 cricket's been coming and going in Pakistan. We had some one-dayers recently as well with the Sri Lankan side that we won. Tomorrow's 11, no matter who we pick, none of them have ever played a test match at home. And some of them, like you've mentioned, have been around for 10 years. So it's an occasion for the fans, but also for the players. Babar Azam might have the opportunity to go in and score 100 for the province that he's from. The same goes for Azhar Ali. And a lot of these folks have played at the Pindi Stadium in first-class matches. Obviously, that will bring a proper home advantage. And I think we can finally go out to see, even though under Misbah we did fairly well in Dubai and the UAE, but we can finally go out to see what home advantage is going to mean to Pakistan, because if you look at the likes of South Africa, not as much, but Australia, India, and England, they've definitely built up test fortresses at home because of the conditions that they have. This is an opportunity for Pakistan to begin a legacy of their own.
Absolutely, और especially हमारे बैट्समैन के लिए तो यार पाकिस्तान में जनरली आपको बैटिंग विकेट्स ही मिलेंगे. तो अजहर अली और असद शफी के क्या रिकॉर्ड हो सकते थे अगर वो घर पे क्रिकेट खेलते गद्दाफी स्टेडियम में, या अगर NSK पे अगर असद शफीक खेलता या सरफराज खेलता. सो यू कैन नॉट इमेजिन द इम्पैक्ट it has had on their careers to never be able to play in front of their home grounds with the home crowd backing you on conditions familiar to you. ठीक है, Abu Dhabi, Dubai जैसे भी हैं, even those pitches were, even for Pakistani standards, they were just too low and too slow for conducive cricket. के यार कोई हमारे बिल्कुल कोई fast bowler ही नहीं कभी निकल पाए. Only Abbas, the last year was the first time a fast
and
bowler
he's not raw pace. We know that he uses the conditions to
वो थोड़ी सी
support
गीली पिच
himself.
मिल गई और थोड़ा सा inexperienced Australian batting lineup था, वरना कोई पेस बॉलर उधर कभी परफॉर्म ही नहीं कर सकता था. द मैक्सिमम आई थिंक बिफोर दैट वाज राहत अली हैड 6 विकेट्स इन अ टेस्ट मैच. तो 12 विकेट जो अब्बास ने ली थी, दैट वाज अ फ्रीकिश परफॉर्मेंस in terms of test cricket in the UAE.
No, and it's helped him propel his career, even though the Australia series was forgetful, but that was forgetful for almost everybody associated with Pakistan cricket. I also want to discuss some anomalies in the selection. Obviously, we've seen a familiar name. He's a bit of a cult hero in the Pakistani fans, and you see his name coming up after every Quaid-e-Azam trophy. You see his name coming up after every first-class game because he just scores that many runs, an average of over 45 in first-class cricket. He's just scored a double century in the last season, following up with another 100. Fawad Alam, who bats a bit like
the Robin Hood of Pakistan.
The Robin Hood of Pakistan, bats a bit like Shivanai Chandrapal, has the statistics of a poor man Sachin Tendulkar. He's back into the Test match side. I'm not sure if he's going to play tomorrow, but what do you make of this selection? Is it inspired or is Misbah just being forced into it?
यार बहुत लोगों ने बातें बनाई हुई मिसबा की सिलेक्शंस को, but let me just remind our listeners that the last time Fawad Alam played for Pakistan in any format, Misbah was the captain back in 2014 in the Asia Cup 2015. So people tend to forget that he was the only guy who actually, backed Sarfraz's selection. His
Fawad selection.
His Sindh buddy, his Karachi buddy, Sarfraz Ahmed was captain in all formats for 3 years, और उसको कभी नहीं उसने favor किया.
The issue with that, I do want to address that as well, because I remember that Sarfraz did have Fawad come in for a trial, because it's not just an individual decision. I don't think Mickey was very happy with Fawad's batting stance.
Individual decision, but an all format captain, यार इतना
No, he should have had more influence.
powerful captain मिसबा कभी नहीं रहा, अफरीदी नहीं रहा, सरफराज था 3 साल के लिए यार, अनडिस्प्यूटेड कैप्टन था. तो आपको ये कॉन्टेक्स्ट में रखने चाहिए ये बात.
No, I definitely appreciate the fact that Misbah gave him a run for his money, and I think a lot of Pakistan fans do that, appreciate his decision now again, because he's only 32. That's not very old.
Because I want to just point that out, because आपको याद होगा जब सरफराज को रिमूव किया गया था, तो ये जो एक्वलाइट्स होते हैं, मोइन खान टाइप और ये सब वहीद खान टाइप और ये जियो के जो 2 नंबर जर्नलिस्ट होते हैं, उन्होंने फिर वो अपनी सटल कराची कंस्पिरेसी जी हमें साइडलाइन किया जा रहा है, ये वो इन्होंने अपनी वो चैंचें शुरू कर दी थी. तो फवाद आलम के लिए इन्होंने तो कभी इतना शोर नहीं मचाया जब वो सरफराज कैप्टन था. तो अब
नहीं शोर मचाना चाहिए था, और I don't think it should have been Mickey's decision. I mean, Sarfraz has had a very intimate look into Fawad's batting style, because he's played a lot of first-class cricket, both of them. I think some of it together as well. And him not playing under Sarfraz is going to always be a question mark on
and
decision making.
And it's interesting कि काफी जबरदस्ती एक synergy बनी, because Fawad's maiden Test 100 was against Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
And that was also back in 2008, 2009, a decade ago. So the Test cricket is coming back after a decade. Fawad Alim is coming back after a decade. The script is kind of a
lot of stories here.
The filmy plot line is writing itself.
But I'm gonna put a damper on this topic, because we're hearing news about the lineup. We're hearing Pakistan are going with 3 pacers. We're hearing that Haris is
हमारे
gonna.
bureau chief ने कुछ background investigations.
We're gonna hear. We understand that they're gonna go with 3 pacers, and Haris is gonna retain his spot. If that's the case, there's probably not gonna be a space for Fawad Alam in the lineup tomorrow.
Maybe.
Who's your starting 11?
यार on current form, I would honestly, he should play the test match, and the team pretty much picks itself. I think Imam को शायद वो back करेंगे कि भाई तुम एक और test खेलो. I would have preferred to see Abid Ali making his debut at Pindi alongside Shan Masood, who did fairly well in Australia. Otherwise 3, 4, 5 तो हमारे set ही हैं जी. अजहर है.
Would you put Fawad in the starting lineup?
Yeah, he's in red hot form, तो of course, और एक मुहिम चल पड़ी है, एक उसका momentum उसके साथ है, और एक goodwill भी रहेगी अगर वो select हो जाए. So why not put him at 6 यार, उसको खिलाओ, क्या फर्क पड़ता है?
No, I definitely think he should be in that side, especially with the kind of domestic season he's had.
I think the issue is because they want to play 3 pacers, तो ये फिर से सोच रहे हैं कि यार एक second spinner होना चाहिए.
Who's going to be your spinners?
हमारा
Who are going to be your spinners? Obviously, Yasir Shah.
यासिर शाह तो है ये, लेकिन अगर वो 3 पेसर खिलाते हैं, अगर नसीम और अब्बास और शाहीन खेलते हैं, तो फिर ये फिर सोचेंगे यार हमारे पास सेकंड स्पिनर नहीं है. हालांकि अजहर अली कैन डू अ रोल, बट ही इज़ ऑल्सो अ लेगी. तो वो चाह रहे होंगे जी हारिस चोर लेफ्ट आर्म ओवर द विकेट आ जाएगा. तो ये वो अजीबो गरीब ये जो साइंस होती है ना, कि हम अपने बॉलर कंप्लीट कर लें कि जी 5 बॉलर हमारे पास होने.
Yeah, again, Khwaja, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I will go back to this thinking, because I said this before the Australia series, and I'll say it again now. You're going to win test matches by getting 20 wickets. So I do understand why the bowling is a priority with the red ball, and it just makes sense to assure that you have the arsenal.
Yeah.
To make sure that you can dismiss the opposition out twice, not just once. Moving on, though, we asked about our listeners what they want to talk about on tonight's episode, because it's a shortened one. We're on for 20 minutes. Maho Billi, who's right now called Riyasat Ki Maut on Twitter. She's quite active, very politically active as well. She's saying that there is rain expected on day 2 and day 3. Should we bowl or bat first because of the pitch, or does the pitch just not matter when it comes to our team?
See, if it's a rain affected game, फिर तो definitely you should be batting first, क्योंकि फिर 2-3 पे अगर थोड़ी बारिश होगी, थोड़ी humidity होगी, pitch थोड़ी और spicy हो जाएगी. So I don't want Pakistan, if the Sri Lankans make like 350 in the first innings और फिर हमने cover up करना है, तो I can't trust this batting lineup at all. हम तो UAE में भी series में collapse कर गए थे,
न्यूजीलैंड के खिलाफ, yeah.
और इतने high pressure situation में तो definitely
there is a lot on the line tomorrow, and I do want to remind folks of the underlining test points that are actually on display tomorrow, because that is going to be
we need to get
to get those home points. We need to secure 2 W's, because we've been following up with a lot of L's in the red ball form of the game. Edges and Sledges are a cricket podcast. I think they're based out of India, and they're right now the #1 cricket podcast on iTunes in India. So they're doing some great work across the border. Good to see that there's some positivity happening on that side. But he's saying, they're asking, are you expecting a big crowd to come in tomorrow and show up all excited, or do you feel that the game starting on a Tuesday is going to put a damper on that?
भाई हमारे ब्यूरो चीफ तो अहमद हसन तो बता रहे हैं कि उसको टिकट्स ही नहीं मिल रही कल के लिए, हालांकि इट्स अ मीजली 50 रुपी टिकट, लेकिन वो TCS के 3-4 दफ्तर गए और उनको टिकट्स नहीं मिल रही. ऑनलाइन जब PCB ने वो लिंक शेयर किया, आई ओपन इट एंड इमीडिएटली इट सेड ऑनलाइन कोटा इज सोल्ड आउट. तो so you can say that hopefully there will be a big response. और काफ़ी हाइप आई थिंक थोड़ी लेट जनरेट हुई है, लेकिन अच्छी जनरेट हुई है. BBC पे भी, जियो वगैरह में भी सब जगह टेस्ट क्रिकेट की बातें हो रही है. और आज PCB ने भी बड़ी ओवर ड्राइव में यूट्यूब पे बहुत क्लिप्स डाल रहे हैं, सब कुछ कर रहे हैं. So hopefully we will see a healthy crowd at the Pindi Stadium tomorrow.
But this is a good question because it leads into two small points that I wanted to talk into. First of all, ticket availability. We've had a fear that they might have opened tickets up to just 2 enclosures, which is a disastrous idea.
I think that was simply the online thing. Overall तो फिर पूरे TCS तो अगर अपने पूरे शहर में आपने I think there are like 8 or 10 branches everywhere. There must be many more. बट उधर टिकट्स मिल रही हैं, तो आई थिंक होपफुली इट विल बी फाइन. अच्छा क्राउड होगा, थोड़ा हाइप बना है, लोग चाहते हैं क्रिकेट देखना, और बाबर आजम को देखना चाहते हैं, शाहीन शाह को देखना चाहते हैं, नसीम शाह को देखना चाहते हैं, यासिर शाह को देखना चाहते हैं, शाह जमान को देखना चाहते हैं, शाहरुख खान को भी शायद देखना चाहते हैं. जो भी शाह हैं सारे पहुंच जाए.
A lot of great talent on display tomorrow. Another thing that I did want to mention, we had a great time covering the PSL draft last week. But
I didn't have a great time.
You did, oh well, besides the Lahore fans. But I do want to say, यार ये marketing जो हो रही है टेस्ट मैच की, वो थोड़ा ऐसा लग रहा है कि देर आए दुरुस्त आए वाला सीन है. Is it too little for such a big occasion? They've started late, and it feels like a measly effort. Even the invitations to Javed Miandad in Sri Lanka.
यार अब I think इतनी हम digitally connected दुनिया, you must be living under a rock if you don't know कि पाकिस्तान टेस्ट क्रिकेट होस्ट कर रहा है. So I feel कि इतना एक्सपोजर है और लोगों को इतनी अवेयरनेस तो डेफिनेटली है कि यार मीम हर दूसरे दिन मीम इतना हिट हो जाता, तो ये तो बड़ी खबर है.
But I think that's, you know, as somebody who works professionally in marketing, I also think that's a bit of an excuse.
I think हम ये देखते हैं ना कि ऑस्ट्रेलिया एशेस को कितना हाइप करता है. हमारी सीरीज को उन्होंने कितनी हाइप दी है. बाबर
exactly.
हर दिन रिकी पॉन्टिंग बाबर पे कोई नई बात कर रहा होता है.
Precisely.
So we would like to see that kind of marketing and that kind of push from our cricket board as well. So there is definitely something they should learn from that.
There's a question that's always on Pakistan minds, Pakistani fans. I've been one for over 15 years now, and I haven't been able to answer this. Which Pakistan will show up tomorrow? The we're asleep and come back later, or the one that we've arrived, take notice?
यार जैसे भी है पाकिस्तान टीम ठीक है, इट्स अ न्यू टीम, बट आई वुड स्टिल बैक अस टू बीट श्रीलंका. यार श्रीलंका at home, but Sri Lanka has had some very good successes recently. They won a series in South Africa.
Don't forget, that was probably the greatest test match of all time, the greatest chase of all time, and the greatest test innings of all time. And no matter what Ben Stokes does in the Ashes, we don't dare let that eclipse what was done in that last wicket partnership.
That was a freakish innings.
Unbelievable.
Kausal Pereira ऐसा player है, he can take the game away from you in just one session.
Of course.
इतना aggressive player है.
If you can do it.
Karuna Ratne is hard to dismiss. Angelo Matthews very experienced. Chandimal भी very experienced. I think they're lacking an attacking spinner like Herat, who persecuted us for so many years.
Herat's favorite team to bowl against was Pakistan.
कितनी विकेटें ली हैं यार, करोड़ों विकेटें
उसने हमारे खिलाफ. 500 विकेटें, I think 300 तो पाकिस्तान के खिलाफ होंगी. We used to play them a lot during that.
And we saw in the one day and T20 series, Lahiru Kumara, he had good pace. So Lakmal is a loss for the Sri Lankans. He contracted dengue. I think Sri Lanka में ही हुआ, हमारी तरफ आके नहीं
हमारी तरफ नहीं हुआ.
तो बेचारा he is missing out, but Rajita is okay. He's another pacer. So they have some decent fast bowling prospects as well that can travel Pakistan.
Surreal times in world cricket when Pakistan can't find pacemen and Sri Lanka can't find spinners. But Venom on YouTube has come up with a question, $1 million question. I'm not sure if it's relevant to tonight, but I'll still bring it up because it's a good one. Any chance, because Test cricket is coming back to Pakistan tomorrow morning, any chance there could be a Test series between India versus Pakistan in this decade? Now, this decade is 10 days to go.
The upcoming decade.
Let's say the next decade.
यार
can I go at this
the
first?
way the political हाँ बोलें आप, go ahead.
I mean, there's a lot of good things that are happening in Pakistan, and I'm sure that there's some good things happening across the border as well.
I don't think so, but
But-
let's for example ले लेते हैं.
Politically speaking,
हाँ.
I see a drastic downward spiral in terms of what mainstream
बहुत
media in India is depicting towards Pakistan.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
much so that domestic policies are being justified by neighboring countries, and that's a very dangerous precedent. So I think, regardless of physical safety, the political setup in India will just not allow to collaborate with Pakistan on any level. Rather, cricket, which is almost a religion across the
नहीं
subcontinent.
बहुत ज़्यादा टॉक्सिक इन्वायरमेंट क्रिएट हो गया और एंड इट विल बी इंटरेस्टिंग टू सी कि भाई अगला T20 वर्ल्ड कप जो इस साल के बाद वाला है वो भी इंडिया में होना है एंड 2023 इज़ एन एशियन वर्ल्ड कप सो वो भी इंडिया में होना है सो हाउ इज़ द पाकिस्तान टीम गोइंग टू बी पोर्ट्रेड ओवर देयर बहुत ही नाजुक सूरत हाल है एज यू कैन सी इन द पास्ट कपल ऑफ ईयर्स So I don't see the relationship being mended at all.
Not at all.
Soon.
Another subplot tomorrow that
Ji.
Faisal Parla on Periscope has brought up. There is a Misbah versus Mickey conversation to have.
The X.
The X that just doesn't seem to go away. He's back tomorrow, and he knows his team in and out. It's almost like it's his team. Besides Azhar and Shafiq that were around before him, the rest of that squad has been put together by Mickey.
I think besides Haris, Azhar and Asad and who else? I think
That's
everybody debuted under Mickey.
Everybody else was Mickey. So they're his boys, and I know that they have a lot of respect for him. You see Babar speaking about him, Sarfraz speaking
Of
about
course.
him. And he's done pretty well with Pakistan, at least with he got a trophy and everything. But that is a subplot. And if Sri Lanka could ask any man in the world,
And he will know the weakness of inside and out of every Pakistani
Precisely.
batsman. जो काफी पहले ही बहुत हैं, लेकिन अब मिकी के हाथ में वो डेटा शीट होगी तो it will be quite
I
interesting.
just feel like if the Sri Lankan bowlers listen to Mickey and actually come through on his plans, it might be a difficult test match for Pakistan, because if there's anyone in the world that should be coaching the team that's playing this Pakistan side, it'd be Mickey Arthur. That would make it a dangerous one. We have a bad habit of doing this, but before we sign off tonight, Khwaja, I want to get a prediction from you for this series. I want to hear top wicket taker, I want to hear top run scorer, and the result of the two test matches.
यार हम उसका मेंशन करना भूल गए कि उस्मान शिनवारी का भी यार they took him in the squad because he has a very good record against Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
So what if he gets picked tomorrow? That will be interesting.
That'll be interesting. I mean, he could come in for Imran Khan. I mean, I don't want to get into that
नहीं,
too
इमरान
much.
तो he is no way he's gonna play. अब्बास का डिसाइड करना होगा कि भाई हमने अब्बास को खिलाना है या नहीं. और नसीम शाह, will it be Naseem versus Shinwari? I hope they go for Naseem. सुनने में तो यही आ रहा है कि नसीम खेलेगा, but it will be disappointing if
I feel like maybe Shinwari is the better pick. He's more experienced.
kind of
And we
on
saw that
international
Naseem,
level. हाँ.
and we saw that Naseem really doesn't have the capacity to bowl a lot of overs.
हाँ ये भी
There
है.
was a lack of that
But I
in
think एक
Australia.
impact bowler तो आपको चाहिए होगा यार, राहुल पिंडी, because मोहम्मद जाहिद जैसे bowler, शोएब अख्तर, the
Yeah.
home of मोहम्मद जाहिद, शोएब
course.
अख्तर, and these guys.
You
even
do need
Azhar
some
में
pace on display.
Yeah,
You need to pay
absolutely.
homage to where you're playing. That would,
16 साल की एक स्टोरी बन जाए अगर if he rips through the Sri Lankans tomorrow.
that would be beautiful to see.
And as for prediction, hopefully यार के hopefully we will win the series यार, उम्मीद तो है
2-0.
कि जीतनी चाहिए. We have the tools to win the
You going
series.
2-0?
यासिर शाह will come in 2-0. Maybe शायद एक draw हो जाए, कराची draw कर लो, ये
अच्छा.
1-0 जीत जाए.
You don't think Pakistan have 2-0 capacity?
We definitely do, but I don't trust our test team right now.
Right.
Our
It is
batting
fragile.
is very shaky.
It is fragile. I'm going to go out on a limb.
Hmm.
I think I see this Pakistan team getting 20 wickets, 40 wickets across the 2
Okay.
weeks. I think it's going to be 2-0 to Pakistan.
Hmm.
I think it's going to be Yasir Shah as a top wicket taker
वो तो of course, no doubt.
across 2 tests.
हाँ.
And I think it's going to be Babar Azam, top run scorer.
I hope Babar Azam tops the run scoring charts, but it's a crucial series for Azhar Ali and Asad Shafiq. Right?
It really is, because if you can't get runs at home against Sri Lanka, then you're looking down the barrel of your test career.
क्योंकि बांग्लादेश भी थोड़ा फ्लिप फ्लॉप कर रहा है कि हम टेस्ट के लिए आएंगे या T20 के लिए आएंगे, वो थोड़ा सा ड्रामे कर रहे हैं. तो इसके बाद आपका इंग्लैंड टूर है, और अगर आप इंग्लैंड टूर पे अगर आप फॉर्म में नहीं गए और अगर आप उधर फेल हो गए तो फिर यार then your
England
test careers are, you
yeah.
know, the end is nigh if you
और
don't deliver.
इंग्लैंड का तो आपको पता है, it's almost like Pakistan's second home ground.
जी, जी,
When
जी.
पहले भी डिस्कस किया हुआ है that if
And we
there's
should aim to win the series there यार, ये it's very winnable. हमने देखा है इंग्लैंड बिल्कुल इनफ्लक्स हैं, अभी न्यूजीलैंड से भी वो सीरीज हारे हैं, अभी श्रीलंका जा रहे हैं आफ्टर दिस टूर इन मार्च, तो उधर भी वो ज़रूर मोस्ट डेफिनेटली इट्स गोना बी अ टफ टूर फॉर देम. सो पाकिस्तान हैज़ अ वेरी गुड चांस टू बीट देम एंड मेक अ मार्क इन टेस्ट क्रिकेट इन द वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप.
Now, it is a lot of potential on show tomorrow, and that has been the story of Pakistan cricket in this past
But
decade.
end of the day, the result is irrelevant as long as Test cricket has come back. Yeah, सबसे बड़ी बात यही.
That is a huge victory, and I think I always said this, and there was something left when Zimbabwe came in and the PSL came in and when Sri Lanka came in. When you wake up in the morning and you see that dodgy 10 Sports 480p on your box TV. 480p on your box TV, and you see someone steaming in like Shoaib Akhtar, Muhammad Asif. When I started watching Test cricket,
of course.
Beautiful scenes, and when this format comes home, it means cricket is truly well and truly completely.
And it will truly feel
home.
like a sad chapter, a horrible chapter, a sad chapter closed if Sri Lanka come and we complete a series. Now it's definitely
it's over.
in the past.
The ghosts of past have finally been put away. But again, tomorrow's series is very much like the story of Pakistan cricket in the past 10 years. It spells out a lot of potential. We'll see a comeback king in Fawad Alam. We'll see Naseem Shah, young fast bowler, and my goodness, if he has his home debut in Pindi, there could not be a better place for him to do so. We'll see a retribution for the likes of Azhar Ali and Asad Shafiq, an opportunity to do so.
GHQ ke kareeb.
And the greatest story of all, I reckon, will be Babar Azam getting to play against a packed house in Rawalpindi. There's a lot of emotion within the team tonight. There's a lot of emotion in Pakistan.
A lot of pressure too.
A lot of pressure for the players. A lot of pressure for the fans to make sure they go in and make this count. I don't think there could be a better track to leave you with tonight. I will leave you with an absolute banger from the great Mehdi Hasan.
The light of freedom begins with a single flame.
ये बदन